Well, it was quiet all along the Jersey Shore this weekend compared to the MAM on Memorial Day weekend when the boardwalk in Wildwood was closed and crowds got out of hand in Seaside Heights.
Yeah, a 15-year-old also recovering after being stabbed in Ocean City over the holiday weekend. The New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness launched what's called Secure the Shore to prevent criminal activity all summer long. So joining us is the director of the agency, Lori Doran, to talk more about this. So, Lori, good to see you this morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Dan and Hazel. I'm very happy to be here this morning and help spread the word about Secure the Shore.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Of course, it's such an important topic here, right? Because people just want to go out there and be safe and enjoy. So let's talk about what this exactly Secure the Shore is. It's running from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Tell us some specifics of what you are doing now to keep everybody safe.
Sure. One of the things I wanted to first emphasize right up front, just because I think as the director of Homeland Security, is that there are no known and credible threats to New Jersey at this time. So I want to help alleviate any concern people might have. But with regard to Secure the Shore, this is specifically not a law enforcement operation per se, such as what our colleagues have been doing on the shore over the weekends with some of these incidents there, which they've successfully taken care of. Ours is more from a Homeland Security perspective. We're talking more about trying to help prevent large incidents and terrorist attacks. For example, and I know that both of you were in the news, in the media at that time, back in like 2016 with the Chelsea bombing that did start in New Jersey with Mr. Rahimi. I'm trying to avoid those types of situations. So Secure the Shore is something that happens at the shore communities, Monmouth, Atlantic, Cape May, and Ocean, throughout the summer. But actually, what we do is, this is year-round, but this is the emphasis strictly during the summer. But the four things that we do focus on there are providing grants and training, and we're also providing intelligence information to our law enforcement partners.
Okay.
And also we do have some of our counterterrorism detectives there to working security details, just to provide that little extra piece of expertise.
So then you are working closely with local police departments, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is a partnership of where we all work together. This is in addition to private sector, depending on the circumstances. We want to ensure that everyone is working on the same thing. The See Something, Say Something program is still there. We talk about it year-round, but we also want to emphasize that during the summer. We have a good program with the Department of Transportation right now, putting out the electronic signs. There are over like 200 of them throughout the state. But while that's for the state, we also have for the shore, talking about Secure the Shore. And what that is the same thing, is the same mantra with every year, is if local people see things, or ever people see things, the 15 signs of suspicious activity, which are on njohsp.gov. If you see something or you hear something that just doesn't seem right to you, we really encourage the public to notify their law enforcement or notify our CT Watch program,
Okay.
which is open 24/7, to let us know. That little piece of information might be the thing to help prevent something bad from happening.
Yeah, and let's talk about what exactly happened on Memorial Day weekend. I know it's not on the federal level, but there's a lot of finger pointing going on over who's to blame for letting crowds get out of hand last weekend. So what's going to happen, I guess, when there are concerts or big events like fireworks, to control those big crowds in terms of crowd control and safety for families?
Well, again, this is where law enforcement does a fantastic job, and we work with our local partners to try to assist them in any way that we can. Again, we're focusing it more from a Homeland Security perspective, and not necessarily in terms of what local law enforcement community is doing to help with specific incidents where, like I said, they have a hard job. My hat is off to them on this, but I know that they work very hard to work very effectively, and we will do everything we can to help support them in this endeavor.
Well, based on your experience, though, do you think that these curfews that they are putting in place for teens will help?
Again, my focus is more on the Homeland Security side. I hope that they do, but I would also readily admit that I leave that to the law enforcement professionals to make those decisions. I suspect when they make those decisions, they're not doing them without a lot of thought involved ahead of time why they're doing that.
All right. So, and again, you said no credible threat, which is a very important point. What are you monitoring in terms of chats? There's so many different facets now that go into something when it comes to, unfortunately, terrorism, right? And we're seeing so many different ways of communication. How are you kind of, without giving your cards away, monitoring it all?
Well, first of all, let me just mention, and perhaps it's a little earlier this year, we put out our terrorism threat assessment for New Jersey. The top 3 threats that we look at from a Homeland Security perspective this year for New Jersey include cybersecurity, homegrown violent extremists, and white racially motivated extremists. And this is where, the cybersecurity piece can fall, there are no borders there. That can happen to any particular organization or individual. On the other 2, where we look at some of what we consider soft targets during the summer at the shore, the concerts, the the programs that are on the beach. We want to have people just focus on that. This is where potentially, and we hope it doesn't happen, work very hard not to have that happen, is where someone who might have bad intentions, such as a domestic extremist, or might want to do surveillance or start eliciting information about certain programs, so that they might be able to then try and pull something off. Which, knock on wood, hopefully that will not happen, because we all work very closely together.
Well, Lori Doran, thank you so much for the work that you do, Director of New Jersey's Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness.
Thank you.
Have a safe summer.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me here, and a safe summer to you as well.
Thank you.